name is Victoria and I'm coming to you guys from Oxbow Meadows Environmental Learning Center. Today we have a super fun, spooky experiment to share with you guys that you can do anytime this weekend, or maybe after this weekend if you have some leftover festive pumpkins from this spooky weekend. But we do have a fun experiment that you guys can try at home that all just uses household products. So we're going to walk you through this experiment. So we will be making an exploding pumpkin. We do suggest that if you do this experiment at home, you do this outside or in an area that can get a little bit messy, which you'll see in just a little bit. But we went ahead and started by carving out our pumpkin. We gave our pumpkin a nice, friendly, spooky face, and we did carve out the inside, take out all of those guts. We do have the top for it still. And we'll be showing you what we do with some of the extra insides from our pumpkin a little bit later. But we're going to go ahead and start our experiment. So we've got our pumpkin up here on a nice tray. We've got a tarp down below for any extra spillage later. But first thing we're going to do is get some warm water. So we have some warm water here in our little pitcher. And I'm going to go ahead and remove our top. So we're going to be adding some warm water into our pumpkin. Just a little bit, trying to make sure that it's not going to spill out from our little area right here. But just enough warm water down the bottom. So next, we want to add some color to our experiment. So we are taking some food coloring. This is an optional step if you do not have food coloring at home. So we're using food coloring. This is a fun purplish color, so hopefully it'll give us some fun festive colors. And we're going to add just a couple drops in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To add a little bit of color to our warm water already in here. Next thing you're going to need is just some dish soap. So we're just using this one right here, and we're going to add in 3 to 4 drops of dish soap as well into our mixture. Ooh. 4, awesome. All right, so we've got our warm water, our food coloring, and a couple drops of dish soap. So the next thing we're going to use is our baking soda. So another household item you should have around. So we're just taking our baking soda and we're going to add a couple tablespoons worth of baking soda to our pumpkin. It's all right if your measurements aren't exact on this experiment. We just recommend you just get a couple tablespoons in there. So our baking soda is a little chunky, but that's all right. It'll still work for the purposes of our experiment. And we're going to add just one more, I think, just a little bit extra. All right, so now we've got our warm water, we've got our dish soap, we've got our food coloring, and our baking soda. The last ingredient we're going to need to make our reaction is going to be our vinegar. So I have a cup of vinegar right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pour it right on. I'm going to put our top on and we're going to see what's going to happen. So I'm going to go ahead and pour some right on in. Put our top on. And let's see if he wants to. So sometimes we might need to add just a little bit more water for our reaction, or a little bit more baking soda, depending on the size of your pumpkin. So we're just going to add in just a little bit more, and we're going to grab a little bit of vinegar. So part of our experiment process means that it's going to be a little bit different every time, depending on the size of your materials. So again, we just got some vinegar, I added in some more. We're going to add just a little bit more vinegar into our experiment. So now we've got our happy festive pumpkin. So this is a take on our baking soda volcano experiment. Again, we're just using warm water, baking soda, dish soap, a little bit of food coloring, and some vinegar. To get a richer color, you might want to go ahead and add just a little bit more food coloring if you try this at home yourself. But this is something you can do with your leftover pumpkins after this weekend if you have one lying around. If you have a smaller pumpkin, you might want to cut some of those ratios in half. If you have a larger pumpkin like this, you might want to go ahead and double some of those numbers that we used. So you can try this at home. If you do it at home, take a picture and tag us on our social media at CSU Oxbow Meadows. We'd love to see you doing your own experiment of our exploding pumpkin. But some of the pumpkin that we have left from this jack-o'-lantern right here, we do also use for other things. So this pumpkin right here is a gourd, and it's also a super duper great treat for some of our animals. So before we did this experiment, when our pumpkin was nice and fresh, we did cut off some of that lovely pumpkin meat inside, and we do have a treat for for one of our animals. So we're going to spin right on over here, and I'm going to introduce you to one of our animal ambassadors. We have Miss Norma, who is one of our African sulcata tortoises. And these guys are herbivores, which means they only eat plants. But one of their favorite treats is fruit or a gourd like this. So Miss Norma is going to get a chance to eat some of this pumpkin. So we're going to put her a piece down here. I'm going to spin her around. She's looking around for it already. But we're going to see if she's interested. So this is a special treat for them. It's kind of like cake is for a person. So this is like a birthday cake for them. So they get a little bit of sweet treat every once in a while with their gourds or fruits or things like that. So this is an awesome enrichment food for them. So we're giving her a taste of this. And we do have a lot left of our pumpkin, and we're going to go split that up with some of our other sulcata tortoises, as well as our gophers and some of our other box turtles to see who's interested in a special treat. But Norma, what do you think of your pumpkin? So I think she's enjoying this extra special festive treat for the spooky season. We hope you guys have a wonderful spooky weekend, and we wanted to let you guys know about another event we have going on soon. So coming up in November, on November 13th, that Saturday, from 11 to 3, we do have a special event going on. So we have our Festive Frogwortz event. So if you enjoy Harry Potter or anything magical or science related, we will be celebrating the magic of science in nature at our Frogwortz event with lots of hands-on science experiments, just kind of like our pumpkin activity, as well as so many other different stations, activities, hands-on things, as well as some special appearances by some of our amazing animal ambassadors for some care of magical creatures. So make sure you come on out on November 13th from 11 to 3 for our Frogwortz event. I think Norma's sneaking another bite of her food. So here we go, Norma. I'll give you a little other piece. Right on over here, but make sure you stop on by for our Frogwortz event on November 13th from 11 to 3. Tickets are $5 a person, and they are on sale right now on our website. Our event is limited, so make sure you go ahead and grab your tickets now. So there's only a limited amount of tickets available for this event, and we want to make sure to see you there. But you guys have a very, very special spooky holiday weekend, and me and Norma are going to go head back in there and dole out some more of this pumpkin treat to the rest of our animal ambassadors. Have a great rest of your weekend.